Hi there, I'm Dr. Ellery, and I want to talk all about the Gua Sha tool for doing a self-care facial today. So I'm a naturopathic doctor and Chinese medicine practitioner and cosmetic acupuncturist, and I specialize in beauty medicine. And I especially love beauty rituals, which are ways not just to treat the skin, but also nurture our spirit and shift our emotions and really let the inner beauty shine outward. So why don't we talk about how we can do that with a Gua Sha. Now, Gua Sha means to scrape in Chinese. And usually a tool like this wasn't used on the face. It was used on a body part, like let's say the shoulders, and you would scrape, and then you would get this red reaction on the skin, and then that would help vent the skin. It would also help move stagnation out of the skin, which could help with pain, or it could help with fighting an infection. So this type of way of using a Gua Sha on the face is actually a pretty recent way of using a Gua Sha, and it was popularized about 25 years ago by a cosmetic acupuncturist, and her name is Dr. Ping Zhang, and she's been teaching how to use facial Gua Sha for the last 25 years. So I just want to give her credit because this is her gift to the world. And how we use a facial Gua Sha is very different than the body Gua Sha. It's much more gentle, and here's a quick little demo. So what we're doing is we're just gliding or sliding over the face at a really shallow angle, and we're moving the lymph fluid, which is that fluid layer in between the skin and the muscle, and we're pushing that up and out of the face. And we're also stimulating the skin itself, which brings more microcirculation to the face. Now, why would that make a difference, moving lymph and microcirculation? Well, lymph helps detox our body. So when we move that fluid up and out, we're actually accelerating that rate of detoxing. Also, if you have a puffy face, it might be because your lymph fluid is just hanging out there when it needs to move. And sometimes that's a sign of dehydration. So what I like to do in the morning when I wake up with a puffy face is drink a big glass of water and then do a facial Gua Sha and get rid of that puffiness. Sometimes it's natural for it to go down over the day, but this is a way to really shortcut that puffiness and get it up and out. And then I was talking about microcirculation. Microcirculation means that the blood vessels are opening up, bringing more blood to the area, and that really helps nourish the skin. And when you nourish the skin, you get all the optimal growth factors to renew the skin and keep it nice and taut and youthful. So that can really help with reducing fine lines and getting that glowing, nice skin that we want. Now, the combination of moving the lymph and bringing microcirculation can also help clear blemishes. So acne can be related to having too much heat toxicity, according to Chinese medicine. And this technique helps clear heat and move toxicity. So if that's what's causing the acne, it can help over time clear it. So I've been talking all about why you should Gua Sha, but let's talk about how we actually do a self-care treatment. Now, the first thing you want to do before you even do any of the scraping is that you want to get a nice Gua Sha oil. This is a Gua Sha oil that I'm really proud of. I formulated it myself, and it has very nourishing oils, and you want to just get a thin layer all over your face. It's okay if there's a little too much because you can just blot it off at the end. But you don't want too little because you really want to slide over the face. You don't want to scrape the face. And then you can do a little bit down the sides of the neck. You can even do a little bit of oil right under your collarbone. And so the first area that I go to is the chin. And you can go on the chin itself and do really shallow, gentle strokes, or you can use the edge of the tool and you can do kind of circular strokes. So the first one that I did with the gentle strokes, and I'll do that on the cheek so you can see it more, is I call this sliding or gliding. And this is a move that you do to bring that lymph out across the face, and then we're gonna pull it down the neck, and then it can clear through the rest of the body. And then this motion is either massaging, or you can go back and forth on an area, like if you have a wrinkle like right in here, you can go back and forth, and I call that sawing. So we have gliding, we have sawing, and then we have massage. So the first place I want to treat is this technique can kind of help clear this fluid and kind of lift. And I tend to get that kind of double chin, so I want to treat my jowls. So I'm going to glide right under the cheekbone. And I'm going to use this little double edge. If you have a different shape gua sha and it doesn't have one of those, you can always just go under and then you can go over. But if you have a tool that's shaped like this, you can go at the same time. Now I'm going at a flat angle. I'm going not too fast. And it's a pretty gentle pressure that I'm using. You want to get that layer right under the skin, but above the muscle. So really aim for that fluid layer, and you don't have to press very hard to get there. Now you can see that it's creating a little bit of redness for me. I have very sensitive skin, it's easily inflamed, and so it gets red easy. So I'm gonna stop when I see it getting red because I don't wanna go past that point. So I'm gonna move on to the next area, which is from the corner of the mouth out towards your ear. And I'm using the round part of the tool. You can use the round part, you could use this flat end. And I'm only gonna do a few passes on my face just because my skin is sensitive and I wanna be mindful not to overdo it. So the next point is along the cheekbone. And you can think of lifting that cheekbone. And I'm gonna switch over to the sinus area here because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull the fluid under this area out towards my cheekbone. And I actually felt my sinus kind of open. You can feel sometimes some more movement in your face and different sensations. And then I'm gonna pull that out towards my ear. So I always wanna get this fluid up and out towards my ear. And then what we're gonna do later is move it down the neck. And then I'm gonna go to this middle part here and I'm gonna use a sawing motion or a massaging motion, and I have these 11 lines right here. So I'm gonna go back and forth on this side and then on this side. And it's getting a little red, so I'm gonna stop there, and then I'm just gonna go straight up the forehead to the hairline and do that again. And then I'm gonna go to the side and then to the side. Now I wanna point out that I'm always pulling the tool, I'm not pushing it. So pushing would look like this, and you can see that I can't get that fluid to really go out under that layer when I push it like that. So I wanna pull, and even if I'm going to the other side, I kind of flip the tool so that I'm keep on pulling it. So now we're gonna switch to the other side of the face, and I'm gonna be a little more quiet during this one just so we can relax into it. And what I want you to notice is how your body feels while you're doing this. So I was using my dominant hand, but I'm actually gonna switch to my less dominant hand, and you can challenge yourself and see what that feels like. I'm just gonna tell you what I noticed about myself is that I noticed when I switched hands that the shoulder just started relaxing a lot more. So I don't know if I was holding the pressure there, but just notice little things about your body so that you can help really relax, tune in, and unwind. So this next move, if you have 2 gua shas, you can use 2 gua shas. If you have 1, you can use 1. 2 looks like this, where 1, you would massage your temple here, and then you can switch to the other side and massage that side. Ooh, that feels really nice. And then the next area we're gonna massage is if you go kind of straight above the ear, just an inch or 2 above the ear, and there's a big muscle that stretches back like that and helps lift the face. And we're gonna let that muscle get some love. When muscles get tight for too long, they start stretching out and then your face actually starts dropping a little bit. So we wanna keep those muscles nice and supple. And if you only have 1, you can do 1 and then the other side. That's all allowed. And if you have 2, you can double up. And then I like to do the forehead just one more time. And then this is the most important part because we got all this fluid up and out to the neck. So now we want to go down the neck. And I want to remind you, use a flat angle. And you might be tempted to use a lot of pressure right now because it feels good to massage the neck with this too. But first, use gentle pressure to get that fluid layer and push it down. And then if you want to go back over the neck and go with harder pressure and give yourself a massage, you can do that too. So I'm going to do one side and then I'm going to do the other side. And I want you to notice that you have these muscles right here. I don't want you to go in front of this area. Just leave the thyroid area alone. But flat angle, gentle pressure, and go all the way down to the shoulder. And then the last part, if you're wearing a shirt where you have access, is that you can go up and over the collarbone. And you want to push it to this point right at the end of the collarbone. That's one of the lung points in Chinese medicine, which is always helpful, but it's also an area that really helps with moving that lymphatic fluid. And then the other side. So at this point, if you have any extra oil on your face and you want to blot it, you can blot it off. It feels nice and smooth and plump for me, so I'm gonna leave it there. I hope you really enjoyed that self-care ritual. You can find gua shas, you can find gua sha oil in my shop at drellery.com/shop. And if you have any questions or comments, please hit me up. I hope you have a beautiful time giving yourself some self-care.